Lagos is a city that judges you before you open your mouth. If you drive a big car, they call you Oga. If you wear a fine suit, they call you Sir. But if you are standing at a gate in a grey uniform, they call you nothing. They walk past you like you are part of the fence.
Morning.
This is the
Checking the
story
logs.
of a man
Of course,
named
right here.
Musa Bello, 62 years old, quiet, unremarkable to look at. He arrived at Belco Industries on a Monday morning, carrying nothing but a small black notebook and a calm expression that never seemed to change. The HR officer who processed his file saw exactly what was in front of her, an older man applying for a security guard position. She stamped his papers without looking up, pointed him to the gate, and that was that. Musa thanked her, walked to his post, sat down, opened the notebook to the first page, wrote the date at the top. Then he looked up at the glass tower in front of him, and he waited. He was good at waiting. Belco Industries was one of those Lagos companies that had started to believe its own legend. The lobby was marble. The elevator had mirrors on all four walls. The executives wear European suits and spoke in the kind of English that was designed to remind you where they had studied. It was a company that had confused success with superiority, and nowhere was this more visible.
Team,
than
I've
in a
reviewed
man
the
named
projections.
Richard
With these
Okafor.
changes, we can achieve a 30%
Richard
growth.
was the senior
Let's
sales
seize this
manager,
momentum.
38 years old, light-skinned, sharp-dressed, with the kind of confidence that fills a room before he enters it. He had been with the company for 6 years. He had closed deals, hit targets, and convinced himself that every good thing that had ever happened at Belco was somehow connected to him. He was not entirely wrong about his performance. He was entirely wrong about what that performance meant. On Musa's third day, Richard arrived in his black BMW. He reached the gate and honked, once, twice, then a third time, long and deliberate. Musa walked to the gate and opened it. "What are you doing?" Richard said through the window. "Do you not see a car waiting? Are you sleeping on duty already?" "Good morning, sir," Musa said. "Welcome." Richard drove through
Good
without
afternoon,
another
sir.
word.
Please proceed.
Musa watched the car park in its reserved
Thank
spot.
you. Drive safe.
Then he walked back to his post, sat down, opened his notebook, and wrote something. Nobody noticed, but that was the point. The weeks that followed taught Musa everything he needed
morning,
to
gentlemen.
know about the
Morning.
people inside that
Ready for
building.
the meeting? Yes.
Most of the staff ignored him, the way people ignore furniture. Not out of cruelty, just indifference. A few people greeted him. A cleaner named Emmanuel nodded to him every morning like they shared a private understanding. And a young
Thank you for
woman
your
at the front
service.
desk,
You're welcome,
Amara,
ma'am.
26
It means a
years
lot.
old,
Glad
junior
to hear that.
receptionist,
Thank you
stopped
so
at his
much for
gate
your help
every
today.
single morning
It's my
without
pleasure,
fail.
ma'am.
Have
Good
a
morning,
wonderful
Uncle
day.
Musa. Did you eat today? I'm fine, my daughter. God bless you. On rainy days,
I brought you
Amara
some
brought him
lunch.
a takeaway
thank
pack
you
from
so
the
much.
canteen.
You're welcome.
She sat with him
Enjoy.
during
will.
her
Thanks
lunch break
again.
sometimes,
Thank you
asking
for your
about his
service.
family, telling him
welcome,
about
ma'am.
her day.
It means a lot.
She had no agenda.
Glad to hear that.
She gave him nothing but simple human attention. And she gave it freely, the way kind people do, without expecting anything in return. Musa wrote her name in his notebook. What he wrote beside it was not the same as what he wrote beside other names. Richard, meanwhile, had discovered something that many small people discover when they find someone who cannot fight back. He discovered that cruelty feels like power. Every winning became a performance. Musa became the audience.
You can't stop
He
me
threw
from
his keys
entering.
at Musa
Sir, you need
across
to
the
calm
car
down.
park one afternoon.
This is ridiculous.
Catch!
I'm calling my
Park the car.
lawyer.
And don't
You
scratch
can't
it.
stop me
You
from
know you can't
entering.
afford to
Sir, you
replace
need to
it.
calm down.
The other
This is
staff nearby
ridiculous.
laughed
I'm
nervously.
calling my lawyer.
Musa caught the keys, packed the car, returned the keys with the same expression he always wore, walked back to his post, wrote in the notebook. Another day, Richard was at the entrance with two colleagues when Musa greeted them. "Good afternoon, sirs." Richard barely turned his head. "Have they not called your replacement yet? You move too slowly. This company needs energy, not old men who look like they are already retired." His colleagues chuckled. One of them looked away, uncomfortable. "People like you," Richard continued, with the satisfaction of a man performing for an audience, "will always remain gatemen. It is your destiny." He said it the way people say things they believe are simply true, without malice almost, just the casual cruelty of someone who has never imagined the world from another person's seat. Everyone waited for something. Anything. Musa nodded slowly. Yes, sir, he said. Have a good afternoon. That evening he wrote more
There's
than
been a
usual.
security breach. You need to
Richard saw
log
the
this.
notebook once.
Understood.
He
Details?
was walking
Check all
past
entry
and
points.
glanced over
Report
and saw his own
anomalies. Yes,
name
sir.
on the page. He stopped. What are you writing? Are you keeping a diary? Just notes, sir. Notes about what? What does a gateman need to take notes about? Just observations, Musa said. Things I see during the day. Richard stared at him for a moment. Something about it bothered him in a way he couldn't name. Then he scoffed and walked away. It was Funke from the accounts department who first noticed. One Thursday afternoon, she was returning from lunch
afternoon,
when she
sir.
saw
Please,
a black
ride this way.
Mercedes
Thank you.
S-Class parked on the road
Have a
outside.
good day, sir.
Tinted windows,
Good afternoon,
private
sir.
plates.
Please, ride this
A
way.
well-dressed
Thank you.
driver had stepped out
Have a good
and
day,
was
sir.
standing in front of Musa at the gate, not demanding anything, not delivering anything, just speaking to him quietly with the kind of careful posture you use when addressing someone you respect.
Good afternoon,
Musa
sir.
replied
Please,
calmly,
ride this way.
patted the
Thank
man's
you.
shoulder. The
Have
driver
a good day,
returned to
sir.
the car and it pulled away. Funke stopped walking. She narrowed her eyes. Then her phone rang and she forgot about it. It happened again the following week. A different car, the same deference, the same quiet exchange.
You're clear.
The same
Go ahead.
Musa, completely
Understood. We're moving.
unbothered,
Stay
writing
alert.
in his
Eyes
notebook afterward. Amara
Here
noticed
you are,
other
sir.
things.
Thank you.
Musa's
I'll take it from
uniform
here.
was worn, but his shoes were not the shoes of a struggling man. Simple but expensive. His watch, which he never mentioned, never showed, was not a cheap one. When she asked him once where he had worked before, he said, "Around. I have been around many places," with a smile that answered nothing. And every single day, without fail, regardless of the weather, regardless of what had happened, he wrote in that notebook. Names, times, exact conversations, who greeted whom, who ignored whom, how an executive spoke to a cleaner, whether a manager held the elevator or let the door close on a junior colleague. He missed nothing. But nobody paid him enough attention to pay him any attention. He was the gateman, he was furniture, he was part of the fence. The memo arrived on a Wednesday. 2 lines, sent to all staff. Please be advised that the founder and principal owner of Belco Industries will be visiting our Lagos office this Friday. All staff are expected to be present and professional. The office
Good
changed
afternoon.
temperature
Checking in for the 3
immediately.
p.m.
Of course,
Funke
please sign in
gasped.
here.
Thank you.
The owner is coming? The original
Good morning.
owner? The
Welcome
man
to our
nobody has
office.
ever seen?
How can I assist
I
you
thought
today?
it was just a name on paper, James said. We need to clean this place. Oh God, where's my good blazer? Plants were
Good
moved.
afternoon. Checking
the
in for
lobby
the 3
floor was
p.m.
buffed.
Of course,
The
please sign in
receptionist
here.
got a new
Thank you.
headset. Someone polished the elevator buttons. Staff arrived Friday morning in their finest. Pressed, scented, rehearsed, terrified. Richard was not terrified. Richard was electrified. This was his moment. 6 years of targets hit, deals closed, and quiet ambition, all of it pointed toward a moment exactly like this
As you
one.
see, sales are
He
up
briefed his team
15%.
in the conference
pie
room
chart shows
with
our
the
market
energy
share.
of a man who
Our
had
new
already
product line.
decided how
Good.
the day would end. I want those presentations polished, bold figures, visual, impressive, and everyone dresses properly, no nonsense. This is our chance to be seen. After his team
Team,
left,
I've reviewed
he
the
straightened his
projections.
jacket
With these
in the
changes,
glass
we can achieve a
reflection of the
30%
partition
growth.
wall,
Let's
rehearsing
seize this
in his
momentum.
head the things he would say,
Here you are,
the
sir.
handshake he would give,
Thank you.
the
I'll take
impression
it from
he
here.
would leave. Musa arrived at his usual time, put on his grey uniform, took his post, opened his notebook, waited. Richard drove in. He honked at the gate, even today, even now. Musa opened it without a word. Old man, Richard muttered to himself as he drove through. He didn't look back. At 10:14 a.m., the convoy arrived. 3 black Land Cruisers, tinted windows, moving in tight formation. Motorcycle outriders, a private security detail walking ahead. The executives assembled at the main entrance. Richard moved to the front of the group. CEO Emeka Adeyemi stood at the top of the entrance steps, hands clasped behind his back, watching the convoy approach. His face was composed, but those who knew him well might have seen something in his eyes, a small, knowing stillness. He had done this before. He knew exactly what was about to happen.
The lead SUV rolled to a stop. Not at the main entrance, not where the red carpet had been laid, not where the executives stood in their finest, not where Richard waited at the front with his smile prepared. It stopped at the gate, at the security post, at Musa's post.
My friend,
The door
it is
opened.
good to see you.
A man stepped out.
Thank you.
Not
Thank
what
you,
most of
you.
them expected. No theatrical entrance, no gold chains, no entourage sweeping ahead. Just a man, in a simple cream agbada, walking towards the gate, towards Musa, with a smile that had started before he even got close. And then it happened. The owner of Belco Industries, a man worth hundreds of millions, walked to the security gate and embraced the old gatesman, a real embrace, arms around shoulders, the kind that contains a history. Nobody moved, nobody spoke. For 5 seconds, which felt like 5 minutes, the entire assembled staff of Belco Industries stood completely still. The only sound was the distant Lagos traffic and a bird somewhere above them. CEO Emeka Adeyemi stepped forward. His voice was calm. It carried the way his voice always carried, without needing to be loud. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce the man whose vision built this company 30 years ago, the co-founder of Belco Industries and its principal owner, Mr. Musa Bello. Richard heard those words. He heard them, and immediately, without wanting to, without being able to stop it, he replayed every single thing he had said to this man over the past weeks. The keys thrown across the car park, old man, the gate, every morning, people like you will always remain gatemen. The sentence sat in his chest like something physical. Musa looked at the assembled staff, all the faces that had walked past him for weeks. Some had been kind, most had been indifferent. One had made it his morning ritual to remind Musa of his place. Musa spoke quietly. I am not here to punish anyone. I am here, as I always am, to understand who we are when nobody important is watching. That is the only leadership test that matters. He paused. Some of you passed, some of you did not. He said nothing else.
The staff were dismissed to their floors. 3 people were asked to remain. Richard sat across the conference table from Musa and the CEO. The notebook was open in front of Musa. Richard's name appeared more than anyone else's. Musa did not raise his voice. He turned pages quietly, reading incidents, dates, exact words. People like you will always remain gatemen. He read it aloud without expression. January 14th, 9:07 a.m. You said this to me in front of 4 colleagues. Richard had nothing to say. I'm not angry with you, Musa said. He closed the notebook. Anger is not the point. The point is this: a man who treats the powerless with contempt will always treat those below him the same way. And that is not a man who should lead anyone in a company that carries my name. CEO Emeka spoke 2 sentences. Richard, your contract with Belco Industries is terminated, effective today. HR will handle your documentation. Richard walked out of the conference room and through the office he had dominated for 6 years, past the desks he had lorded over, past the staff who watched quietly, past the lobby, past the marble floor, past the security gate that Musa held open one final time. The same gate Richard had honked at every single morning. He got into his black BMW. He drove out. He did not look at Musa. Musa closed the gate. That same afternoon, Musa asked to speak with Amara. She came to the conference room slowly, nervous, unsure what she had done wrong. Relax, Musa said. You haven't done anything wrong. He looked at her for a moment. You brought me food on rainy days. You asked if I had eaten. You sat with me when no one was watching. You treated me like a person, not because you knew who I was, but because that is who you are. Amara didn't speak. Her eyes filled. Tell me, what position do you want in this company? 3 weeks later, Amara was appointed head of client relations, a new role created specifically for her, because Musa told the CEO, that is the face this company should show the world. Musa Bello left the Belco Industries Lagos office the same way he arrived, quietly, in his grey uniform, notebook under his arm. He stopped at the gate one last time, looked back at the tower of glass catching the evening light, then walked to his waiting car, where his driver was already holding the door open. He got in. The car pulled away, and the gate closed behind him. There is a lesson in this story that this city needs to hear. Respect is not something you give only to people who can benefit you. It is not a strategy. It is not performance. It is character, revealed in the small moments, the invisible moments, the moment when you think nobody is watching. Because sometimes the person you are disrespecting is the person who decides your future. And even when they are not,
Even when the security guard is simply a security guard, he is still a human being. He still has a life outside that gate. He still has people who love him. He still deserves to be spoken to with dignity. How do you treat the security guard? How do you speak to the cleaner? How do you talk to the driver? That is your character. Not what you show the owner. What you show the gateman. And sometimes, the gateman is the owner.